Hello and welcome to Dreamy Destinations. This is Amber Miller from Booked Travel Planners, and we are recording this presentation in mid-December 2023, focusing on honeymoon trends that we're seeing for 2024 and 2025 honeymoons. Booked Travel Planners is based in Tampa, Florida, and we are a travel agency specializing in honeymoons and luxury travel. We have deep expertise in Italy specific itineraries all over Europe, and Virgin Voyages is our favorite cruise line. We'd love to have you follow us on social media at Booked Travel Planners, where you can find more posts about fun destinations and travel tips. You can also check out our website at www.bookedtravelplanners.com. In this video, we're going to talk about honeymoon trends that we're seeing, focusing on specific destinations, and interspersed with that, we'll also share planning tips for planning your perfect honeymoon. And the world is a very large place, so we don't have time to cover all of the trending destinations in this video. But if you don't see your perfect destination and would like to chat more about it, just reach out to us through our website, and we'd love to chat with you about that specific destination. When we think about your honeymoon, it's important that we start out with the big details to help us craft your perfect itinerary. So the first thing that we have to do is decide on the timing and the duration of your honeymoon. Are you planning to travel immediately following your wedding, or do you want to wait a couple months before you embark on your honeymoon trip? We'll also talk about how long you have for your honeymoon. Are you planning to just go somewhere for 3 or 4 days, or are you planning to go for up to 3 weeks? There are so many different options depending on where exactly you want to go and how much time you have to go there. We want to make sure that we're thinking about destinations that are practical for those limitations. So, for example, if you wanted to go to Asia for your honeymoon and you're based in the US, I would highly recommend 2 weeks or more for that trip. So, if you only have, let's say, 5 days to go on your honeymoon, Asia might not be a practical destination for you. And we also want to talk about what is essential for you during your honeymoon trip. Is it that you want to relax on the beach and you want to get in a lot of downtime, or is it there are certain monuments or activities that are once in a lifetime experiences that you want to do while you're on this trip? So when we chat about your honeymoon, we'll talk about what are those must-see and must-do items for you. And our first destination that we'll feature is St. Lucia. This is a really beautiful and popular destination for 2024 and 2025 couples. St. Lucia has beautiful tropical scenery. It's relatively easy to get there from the US, and there's a good mix of all-inclusive style accommodations and boutique hotels. And there are lots of things to do once you get there. You'll be able to have a lot of downtime laying on the beach or by the pool or enjoying spa and resort activities. Or there's active things you can do. Maybe if you wanted to go out on the water, wanted to go hiking, there are options in St. Lucia. And pictured here are 2 destinations I would recommend for couples thinking about St. Lucia. Italy continues to be a very popular travel destination for people. On social media in the summer of 2023, I'm sure you saw several people you know traveling to Italy, and the demand is expected to continue for Italy in the coming years. There is so much to see and do in Italy, and we personally just got back from a trip to Rome and Florence in November of this year. So there are lots of different landscapes you can choose from in Italy, whether you want a busy city with a lot of history like Rome, or if you want something that's a little more secluded like a Tuscan villa. And then there's also beaches and lots of great waterfront scenery like in Positano or Capri. If you're into art and culture, so much to see and do in Italy. And of course, if you are a foodie, Italy is a great travel destination because there's unlimited possibilities for food and wine adventures that you can partake in Italy. Hawaii is a destination that's been known to be a traditional honeymoon spot for a long time, and for good reason. The landscapes in Hawaii, the natural beauty are absolutely amazing. I'm sure you've seen Hawaii on TV or in movies, and it is absolutely beautiful. Hawaii is more of an active honeymoon destination, especially if you want to go hiking and have some adventure. If you want to be out in the water, snorkeling, or surfing, Hawaii is perfect for that. And of course, Hawaii is a US state, so no passport needed for US residents. It can be a little bit of a trek to get there, however, the views are worth it. Back to Europe, looking at Portugal. Portugal is kind of a trending destination in Europe. It's not quite as popular as Italy, Spain, or Greece, but we're seeing a lot of interest for Portugal. So it's kind of up and coming in popularity. And there are lots of romantic viewpoints you can have in Portugal, and you can do things like explore vineyards and enjoy wine and food. And you're going to get some of that old world charm mixed in with modern amenities when you go to Portugal. And Greece is a stunning spot for honeymoons. Lots of beautiful Instagram worthy backdrops in Greece. Lots of great Mediterranean food and some of the best beaches in the world. And if you are interested in a cruise honeymoon, Greece has some amazing cruise itineraries from lots of different cruise lines. And cruises are a great way to enjoy the scenery and activities of a destination with minimal planning and logistics. So if you want to go to Greece, you can certainly do it by land, visiting one or two cities like Santorini or Athens or Mykonos. Or if you want to see a lot of Greece, you can do a Mediterranean cruise. And a very important element when planning your honeymoon is your budget. So we can't do much in figuring out the logistics for your trip without knowing what your budget is. And honeymoon budgets tend to be higher than a traditional vacation because you are going for that once in a lifetime, really special type of experience. So some of the components that make up your honeymoon budget include airfare. Of course, airfare prices fluctuate a lot, and for summer 24, we are seeing some high airfare prices, but that's going to be a significant portion of your budget. So you'll want to go on Google Flights or the flight provider of your choice and get an idea of what airfare is running for the destination that you are considering, and make sure you factor that into your budget. Accommodations are also a big element of your overall honeymoon budget. So, do you want to stay in an all-inclusive style property? Do you want to stay in more of a boutique hotel? Do you want to stay on the water? Do you want to stay at more of a apartment style vacation rental property? Lots of different accommodations available. We work with vacation properties. We also work with high-end resorts. We work with budget-friendly resorts. We work with boats and yacht charters. So whatever accommodations you're looking for, we're happy to help you find the best one for your honeymoon. And then an often forgotten part of the budget for your honeymoon is how you're getting around on your trip. So what is the ground transportation situation for where you're going? Are you going to need a private driver? Do you want to plan to rent a car? Are you going to use shuttles? Are you going to use Ubers? And then how are you going to get to and from the restaurants and activities that you are doing while you're at your destination? So we're happy to talk through transfer options and rental car options if we work with you on your honeymoon trip. And then what are you going to do once you get there? What type of activities are you going to do? And how much time do you want to spend doing them? And what's practical based on where you're staying at? You also want to factor in food, drinks, and shopping or spending money because, of course, on this amazing honeymoon trip, you're going to want to eat the best food, enjoy some drinks, enjoy the scenery, go experience the local culture. So you want to make sure you're factoring in a healthy amount for all of the fun that you're going to have on your trip. And then once you have narrowed down the big picture items of your honeymoon trip, you'll want to make sure that you are getting travel insurance to protect your financial investment in your trip. And travel insurance also covers the medical expenses that could potentially occur while you're traveling abroad. So if you work with us to plan your honeymoon adventure, we'll make sure that we are quoting travel insurance for you, and we highly, highly recommend it for any international travel and especially cruises. Now back to some featured destinations. Jackson Hole, Wyoming is a beautiful US based honeymoon destination if you are into more mountainous, rugged, natural beauty. Brush Creek Ranch looks like an amazing spot for a really relaxing, beautiful honeymoon adventure. If you go to Jackson Hole, you might encounter some wildlife like elk and moose and bison, and there are tons of outdoor activity options. So, depending on the time of year, that might be skiing, it might be hiking, horseback riding, a hot air balloon ride, fishing, so much to see and do in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And Bali is a big honeymoon destination, and this is a really big trip for those of you based in the United States. So I would again recommend no less than 2 weeks for an Asian adventure. Bali has lots of beautiful landscapes, and if you are more wellness focused, you want kind of a spa based recharge kind of honeymoon, you can find lots of great options in Bali for that. Things like yoga and meditation, wellness focused activities, spa treatments, and enjoying the local culture. And there are some really amazing private villas and really amazing ocean views that you can enjoy in Bali. And I mentioned cruises earlier. Our favorite cruise line is Virgin Voyages. They are adults only, which means no kids on board their ships. They have an all-inclusive style of pricing. So the rate that you pay for your Virgin Voyages cruise includes all of your food on board, your gratuities for the staff on board. It includes basic beverages like soda, and it includes group fitness classes and basic Wi-Fi in your price that you pay. So the additional costs that you would incur would be the excursions that you do, and if you chose to do alcohol on your cruise, of which you could buy a bar tab for that. But regardless of which cruise line you choose, I love cruises because they allow you to see a lot of different destinations with minimal logistics and planning. So the nice thing about a cruise itinerary is once you get on board, you unpack one time. You go out and adventure during the day when you're in port, and you come back to your central cabin on the ship and enjoy the amenities on the cruise ship. And Virgin Voyages does give us incentives to share with our clients. So we do have some bonus onboard credit available for new Virgin Voyages bookings with us through 12/31 of 2023. However, if you're watching this presentation after that date, feel free to reach out to us and see what Virgin Voyages incentives we have. And that also applies to many of the other mainstream cruise lines as well. So we would love to work with you on planning your perfect honeymoon. It's super easy to work with us. You'll go to our website at bookedtravelplanners.com, click on the new client request form. That's just going to ask basic questions like your name, your budget, your dates, what kind of trip you're planning, and then we'll reach out to you via email to set up a time to connect by phone or by Zoom to meet. And that will allow me a chance to get to know you and learn all about the trip of a lifetime that we are going to work together to plan. So thanks so much for watching our presentation, and we cannot wait to work with you on your perfect honeymoon.